Welcome to the Concur expense tutorial for USF employees. This is the instructional presentation on the Concur system for reconciling expenses. There will be a quiz associated with this tutorial to gain access to the Concur site. Upon successful completion of the quiz, you will be provided with a logon ID and a password to Concur via email within 2 to 3 business days. During the tutorial, you may stop, pause, fast forward, and rewind the video by clicking on the appropriate button at the bottom of your screen. The Concur purchasing card cycle runs on a calendar month. Charges from the first business day of the month through the last business day of the month complete a billing cycle and are due on the first day of the following month. Your approver then has 3 business days to review and approve your report.
Your report is then sent to the Disbursements Department in the Accounting and Business Services Office for the final review.
Please note, the best practice is to consolidate all expenses within a single monthly report.
Out-of-pocket expenses may take 5 to 10 business days to be processed and extracted for payment.
Once a report has been approved and is extracted for payment, and provided you have direct deposit form on file, it may take an additional 3 to 5 business days, depending on your bank, for the funds to be deposited into your account. If you have direct deposit set up for payroll, it is still required for you to complete a direct deposit form for all accounts for payables reimbursements. Alternatively, if you do not have a completed direct deposit form on file with the Disbursements Department, a check will be mailed to the address we have on file within 10 business days.
The Concur website can be accessed 2 different ways.
First, through an external site. If you type expense.usfca.edu into any internet browser, you are taken to a logon screen. The username will be the first portion of your USF email address. The password will be your campus-wide identification number, not your USF Connect password. The second way to access Concur would be through My USF, which is formerly known as USF Connect.
To access Concur through My USF, you will log in and select Concur from your home page.
Upon successful logon, you are directed to the My Concur homepage. On the homepage, you will see Company Notes, where you can find announcements from the disbursements team. Additionally, you will have a dashboard indicating items that you have outstanding. For expense report approvers, you can find the reports pending your review and your approval here under Requires Approval. The second section, you will see Available Expenses. These are all your expenses that require reconciliation into your monthly expense report. The third section is Open Reports. You have the option of opening a report at the beginning of the month and reconciling your transactions as you go. This is where you can access your report that you created earlier in the month. At the top of My Concur homepage, you will see the Expense tab.
From the Expense homepage, you have the ability to create a new expense report, open and edit unsubmitted expense reports, access older reports, view available expenses, and view your receipt store.
If you wish to view your past expense reports, you will do so by clicking on your report library on the right-hand side of your screen. From here, you can select View, and in that drop-down menu, select All Reports. This is where Concur stores 7 years' worth of expense reports.
You have the option of creating a new expense report or editing a report that has yet to be submitted. To create a new report, simply just click Create New Report.
This then takes you to the Create a New Expense Report screen, where you can provide the required information necessary to create the header for your expense report. Please note that the required information is characterized with a red bar. The best practice is to include the current month and year within your report name.
Because you are required to provide a more detailed explanation for each expense within the report, your business purpose should be as general as possible here on the report header.
Please note that the business purpose you provide at the report header level will copy down to each individual expense you included within your report. you will be able to add or delete that information as needed. If your report contains various business-related expenses, then a business purpose of business-related expenses for the month of June is acceptable. Should you need additional space, you may use the comment box. Finally, you see a box next to the words, "I have complied with the university's travel and entertainment policy." Please note that unless you click in the box confirming your compliance, you will not be allowed to proceed.
The university's policies can be found at usfca.edu/policies.
Once you have agreed to comply with the university's travel and entertainment policy, click Next. You are now viewing your expense report. Notice that the title of your report is in the left-hand corner. Beneath the title, you have the option to add a new expense. This is where you enter all of your out-of-pocket expenses you have incurred within the month. I will demonstrate how to do so in the following demo.
Now that you have your expense report open, you need to import all of your purchasing card transactions.
To transfer your purchasing card transactions over into your report, you have two options. You can select all and drag your expenses over, or you can select the import button over here on the right-hand side.
Your purchasing card transactions have successfully been transferred into your report. One benefit of using the university purchasing card is that JP Morgan Chase automatically transfers the majority of the information in for you.
In this case, the transaction date, the vendor name, and the amount are all pre-populated for you. Please verify that the expense type is accurate and that the business purpose is appropriate. To do this, simply click on the drop-down arrow and select the most appropriate option. Next is the business purpose, which was copied down from your report header. If you wish to provide an additional comment that pertains to this specific expense as opposed to the overall business purpose, you can do so in the comment section. The more information you provide, the faster your report will be reviewed and approved and extracted for payment. Next, verify that your FOAP is correct. Your FOAP is the fund, organization, account, and program code. These numbers are defaulted within your account.
Please contact your business manager regarding which FOAP you should utilize within your report. If you do not have access to the appropriate FOAP, please contact your business manager. They will then contact the disbursements department, who can then give you the appropriate access.
If you have accidentally charged a personal expense to your university purchasing card, you can select the Personal Expense Do Not Reimburse box.
It should be noted that all personal expenses on your purchasing card should be avoided at all costs.
If you have out-of-pocket expenses to add to your expense report, please do so by selecting the New Expense button underneath your report header. By selecting New Expense, Concur wants to know what expense type best suits the transaction that took place. You can access the expense type by either typing in this freeform box,
or you can search in the list of expense types provided below. Now that you have selected the appropriate expense type, you are ready to enter all of the required information listed with a red bar.
Once you have entered all the required information and provided enough comments for the business purpose, you can select Save.
The out-of-pocket expense is now saved among your purchasing card transactions. Now that you have entered all of your purchasing card transactions as well as your out-of-pocket expenses, you are ready to attach your receipt images.
You have two options for submitting receipts. You may either scan your receipt sent to Concur or take a picture of the receipt with your Concur mobile app. If you have utilized the Concur mobile app on either your phone or your tablet, your photos can be accessed here under the Receipts button. You can simply just select Receipts and view available receipts. This will open your receipt store. You can then find the associated receipt and drag it over on top of the expense that it's related to. If you do not utilize the Concur mobile app and choose to scan the images and save them on your desktop, You also have the choice of attaching your receipt images by going to Receipts and Attach Receipt Images. Once you select this box, Concur will notify you of all the expenses that require a receipt. Please recall that USF requires a detailed receipt for expenses $50 or greater. E-receipts and copy of original receipts are acceptable forms of documentation. To attach a receipt you have saved on your desktop, you can select the expense and browse for the document on your desktop. The image should load instantaneously. If you do not have a required receipt, please make every effort to obtain one from the vendor. If the vendor is unable to provide you with a receipt, please complete a missing receipt form, which would then be signed by your business manager. The missing receipt form can be found under the Forms and Brochures section of the Business and Finance website. You would then scan and upload the missing receipt form to your expense report. Please double check that your receipt has attached appropriately. You can do so by selecting Receipts and Check Receipts. A window will appear which will show you all of the receipts that you have attached to your report. Once you have attached your receipt images, you are ready to submit your report.
You can do so by selecting the orange Submit Report button on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Your report will now go to your approver for review.
For any Concur or university purchasing card related questions, please contact either Morgan Maich or Dennis Miller in the Accounting and Business Services office. Contact information, as well as additional resources such as brochures and forms, can be found on our website at usfca.edu/busfin. Congratulations! You've successfully completed the Concur expense tutorial. Please take the Concur training quiz in order to receive your logon ID and password via email.